أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, brothers. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our efforts and time to learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as good deeds in this world and in the next, inshallah ta'ala. So in our journey of learning the Quran, the Arabic of the Quran, we have done almost 10 lessons. And in between we had a exam, and alhamdulillah, brothers, this is very good, whoever attended and whoever following along the lessons. So inshallah ta'ala, we will continue our series. And as last week we discussed, even in the time of Ramadan, brothers has agreed that, we can, after the Fajr prayer, we'll move to the other section. And, whoever brothers are interested, we can do our lessons, because if we put a gap of 5 to 6 weeks, it may that, we'll forget most of the things. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue the journey of learning the Arabic of the Quran. So as we do every week, so we're going to have a new lesson today, a new fragments that we're going to learn today, inshallah ta'ala, very similar to the fragment that we did last week. And before that, we'll go through a zoom over a very quick review, so that it refreshes all of our memory, inshallah ta'ala. So the first thing we saw on the board, that this is the first part of the ism that we did, the 4 properties of an ism. And we know what is the ism. It could be a thing, a name, in a place, an adjective, an adverb. All this comes under the ism. Then we talked about there are 4 properties of ism: status, number, gender, and type. Status means how the word, the ism, has been used in a sentence. It could be rafa, meaning the doer. It could be nasab, meaning the details of the sentence, or it could be the jar. Okay, and jar means something that comes after the of. That's what we learned so far. Then we said about the number. Arabic, in number we have singular, we have plural, but in between we have another one called pair or dual. And we learned our chart about the Muslim chart, also the feminine version of the chart also we learned, and I believe all the brothers have the charts in their email that I have sent to them. Then we talked about the gender. Most of the words are masculine. There are few ways to distinguish a word as a feminine, and we have learned about those things like the body parts in pair. There are some random words, they are feminine because the Arab said so, and there are some other signs also for the feminine. Then we talked about the type. Type means is it a word is a common or a proper. For proper, we have 7 categories to know about the proper, and in that we have pronouns and pointers and ism mawsul and all these other things. So that we did almost few weeks before. Then we talked about fragments. And fragments, we said when the 2 words, we bring 2 words together, it makes a fragment. So fragments is more than a word but less than a sentence. Okay. And in fragments, we have to know how we can join these 2 words. Okay. The first fragment we talked about is idafa, meaning the joining of. The word of in English, right? So the word before the of we call mudaf, and the word after the of we call mudaf ilay. Like we say that the masjid of Allah, or the house of Allah, the book of Allah, okay, the house of Abdullah, okay, the car of anybody, Ruqayya, anything you say. So anything that comes after the of, it is mudaf ilay. Anything comes before the of is mudaf. And there are only 2 conditions for mudaf and mudaf ilay. For mudaf, it is the condition, it has to be light, and there cannot be any alif lam. So the word cannot start with alif lam, it has to be light. And mudaf ilay is always has to be in the jar status. Okay, has to be in the jar status. And we did so many examples of that. And inshallah ta'ala, when we finish fragments, we'll have a test on the fragments, and we can go through them again, inshallah ta'ala. Actually, today's lesson also, in every lesson, we'll go through all the lessons we did. You will find when you go through the ayahs of the Quran, you will see that, this is a construction, this is the fragments of mudaf ilay, this is the nasab status, this is the jar status. So all these things we will find. So it's not like we have learned this and we forget about this. You will find mudaf ilay, a lot of them even in today's lesson, inshallah ta'ala. And then we talked about pronoun. Why we talked about pronoun in between fragments? Because pronoun is a very, very common construction of fragments of idafa when it comes to the attached pronoun. we said there are two types of pronoun, independent pronoun and attached pronoun. And then we have a chart, and we said we must memorize the chart, okay? And the pronouns are very, very easy to learn. These are the pronouns we talk. Huwa means he, and when it is all the independent pronoun are rafa status. They're always rafa status, and they're always proper, okay? And we can know their gender and number by the meaning of it. So huwa means he. Everybody know what is the status of he. He means, he's a masculine, obviously, that's why he's a he. And he's one person, that's why he's he. So number and gender. And huwa, if it comes as huwa, then it is a rafa. When it attached with something else, it becomes who or he. Sometimes it becomes who, sometimes it becomes he. Then we talked about two-person male, we call huma. Or it can be huma or hima in the nasab and jar status. Like this, we went through all the charts, especially anta means you, antuma means both of you, antum means all of you. Same with anti means you as a feminine. Antuma means you both of you as a feminine, and antunna means both of you, all of you as feminine. And then when they become attached to some word, and that's the most common way you will see in the Quran, that every time pronoun gets attaching with a word, with an ism, and that's why they come in the other form ki, kuma, kun. And then we said ana means I, and then ni is nasab, and e is jar, and nahnu means we, and na means the nasab and jar version of the nahnu. So we have to memorize this chart, otherwise we cannot go forward. And as we say, that when a pronoun gets attached with another ism, another word, it is always a mudaf and mudaf ilay construction. So the word before it is a mudaf, and the attached pronoun become mudaf ilay. Like we say, Rabbukum, your Lord, okay, or the Allah, Lord of yours, okay, the same thing. So Rabbukum is always there's an off in between. So if you see a ism and there is attached pronoun, you automatically put to translate yourself to understand there is an off in between them, and you bring the word before it and after it. So this is how you translate, okay? So that's the way to understand the Quran. So now you will, anytime you see mudaf, mudaf ilay, and as long as you know the meaning of the word, you can translate it. Because in between them you have to put an off, okay? That's what you have to do. In the last week we did another fragment, it's called Harf of Jar. And we said what is Harf? Harf means the word doesn't make any sense by itself unless there is a word after it. So just like preposition in Arabic, in English, like on, at, upon, all these things, towards, to, all these things are harf, and a word that comes after it, it became the jar, because the job of harf is to make a word jar. Okay, that is one of the job of the harf. And there are few harfs like this. And how many we learn? 11, not 2, 11. 11 harf of jar we learn, and we know the meaning of this one, right? So what are the 11th one? Who can tell me? Let's go.
B.
Yeah, B, which is ba. Yeah, ba comes as always B.
Lam.
Yeah.
Then
Wa. So ba, ta, ka, lam, wa, min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. And we know the meaning of all of it. Ba, it comes always as B. What does it mean? With. What is the example?
Bismillah.
Bismillah. Very good. Ta means also means
By.
or I swear by, and it is always only used with the word Allah, tallahi. Like sometimes the Arabs say wallahi, they also use tallahi. So this word is very easy one, and you won't find it actually in the Quran, probably in one place, I'm not sure. But ta is only comes with Allah, word Allah. It doesn't attach with anything else. Tallahi means I swear by Allah. Okay. Ka means like like you say, you are like my brother. Okay. We say this one. So ka means like. Okay. La has 7 types of lam in Arabic. We are only learning about one type here. This la here means for. Okay. When it attached with a pronoun, it's called lahu, means for him. Lakum, for you, like lakum dinukum waliyadin. Okay, for you. Or it could be li also, like hudal lil muttaqin. Okay, hudal lil muslimun. Like all these things it can be. So la could be with the pronoun la, or with the other word is li. Wa, also there are a lot of kind of wa in Arabic, okay? And there's books written only on wa. How many types of wa in Arabic? But wa that we know here, it is the wa that Allah says, I swear by. Like, wal asr, wal qamar, wal shams, all these things I swear by, okay? And all these harf, when there is a word after it, just after it, next to it, the next word, if it is ism, it will make the ism a jar, meaning that word must be a jar. Okay, like min. Min means from. Fi, in. An, about. An means about. Ala, upon. And that's why we say assalamu alaikum. So ala sometimes become alai. An sometimes becomes anin. Because there is an instrument. Min also is minallahi. Minallahi. So the sukun becomes a harf. And then we have hatta. Hatta is always hatta. Like in Surah Al-Qadr, hatta until Fajr. Then we have ila. Ila sometimes become, ila means to or towards. So I'm going towards the masjid. I'm going towards the shop. Okay, return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll all return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so all these things like inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi. So ila is attaching with he. What is he means? He means he, like Allah. We're talking about Allah. So huwa becomes he is the nasab or jar version. So obviously it is jar here because it's attached with ila. That's why we say inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. We come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll go back to him, ilayhi. So that all of them we learn and we must memorize the meaning, and we know how to. And then we did a lot of examples. So today's lesson, the lesson number 11, will be very similar of harf of jar. Okay, very similar. It is called, these are the examples we did and the meanings. This is called harf of nasab. So today's lesson is called harf of nasab. Meaning there are some harf, again harf. Harf means the word doesn't make any sense, like a preposition, until there is something after it. Okay, so harf of nasab is just like harf of jar, but when a word comes after it, it doesn't make it a jar, it makes it obviously from nasab. Okay, so it makes a word nasab. That's why we said even the first lesson that we did, rafa, nasab and jar, we always have to remember those. If you don't know what is nasab now, then you can't understand. Okay, so that's why we have to follow it up with every lesson that we did. So the harf of nasab, there are few harfs. There's only 6 of them. Before we had 11 of them. We just saw the 11. Now we only have 6 of them. We learn only 6 of them, their meaning. And if there's a word comes after it, okay, it will make the word a nasab version. Okay, and they are the meanings of we learned about the meanings of those harf. Okay, the 6 harf. But one difference with harf of jar and harf of nasab. In harf of jar, the harf like be Bismillah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so the word comes just after the harf. There's nothing in between them. But harf of nasab is not like this. So harf of nasab is like harf is there. There could be something in the middle, and then the word become a nasab, or it could be attached together also. So this is a bit tricky one. So it could be the attached, or it could be few words later on. And we'll see lot of examples from the Quran, inshallah ta'ala, and then it will be clear. So now let's talk about this. These are the 6 harf of nasab. These are the 6 harf of nasab. Number 1 is inna. Who doesn't know about inna? So many surahs start with inna. So many ayah start with inna. Inna means for sure, definitely, no doubt about it. Okay, inna means for sure. Anna, this is also very common. Anna means that. Anna means that. Kanna, ka'anna, so not kanna. Ka'anna means as though. Ka'anna means as though. Laita, laita means if only. Okay. Lakinna means however, or it also means but. But I just put however, the same thing. Lakinna, and la'alla means 3 things. So that hopefully maybe. So that hopefully maybe. So inshallah we'll go through all of us together. So inna means for sure. Anna means that. Ka'anna means as though. Laita means if only. Lakinna means however. And la'alla means so that hopefully maybe. Okay. So there are 3 of them. The last 3 start with lam, right? Laita, lakinna, la'alla. Like the famous ayah, you will hear this ayah so many times. Ramadan is coming. All the sheikhs will recite this ayah. La'allakum tattakum. Allah give us the siyam. Kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladina min qablikum la'allakum tattakum. La'allakum means what? so that you can attain taqwa. Hopefully you can attain taqwa. Maybe you will attain taqwa. So all these things you will find. Every time you read Quran, you will find these things. In one page of Quran, you will find harf of jar, you will find harf of nasab. You cannot miss this. This is full of this in the Quran, and if you know the meaning, it will be easy for you to understand. And when the Sheikh recite, you will be trying to concentrate more to get the meaning of it. So inna, give me example of inna. Brother Rubai, give me an example of inna. A surah starts with inna, or any ayah that you know about inna. Inna anzalnahu fil layl. Very good, okay. But there's one little problem. Inna is just fine, but that inna is tricky because it's inna with a we. Like inna, it means the same thing that definitely, but that has the same meaning, but that has some other properties that we'll talk about it later. But that's a good one example. Inna. Also, Surah Kawthar. Inna shaniyaka huwa al-abtar wal asr. Innal insana. See, innal insana, not insani. It's not making a jar. It's have to make it nasab. Okay. So the word after it or some words after later, we'll see the example. So first we'll know the meaning, then inshallah we'll see the example. So that is inna. There's a lot of examples in inna, right? Then anna, there are examples of anna, like anna lahum ajran hasana. Whoever knows Surah Kahf, in the second ayah, anna lahum, meaning that Allah gives them. Also if you look at Surah Najm, Surah number 53, towards the end of the Surah Najm, lot of ayah start with anna. Because Allah describes Himself, وَأَنَّهُ هُوَ عَدْهَكَ وَعَبَكَ. Allah is that He will make you cry and laugh. وَأَنَّهُ عَمَاتَ وَأَحْيَا. That He will make you die and live. So you say that lot of ayah start with anna like this, okay? Then we'll find some example, ka'anna, means as though, okay? Laita. Okay, can you remember any example of laita? Any common surah that we recite? Ya laitani. Okay, laitani. What does laitani means? So last thing is ni. Ni is from the pronoun chart. Okay, what is ni? Ni is the nasab version of I, ana. So as remember we said ana means I. Ni, when ana becomes ni, it becomes the same I, but it's the jar version. So laitani, and laita means as if only I. So Allah is saying in the Quran that people will say on the jar, if only I have listened to the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we can follow the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lakinna, also there are so many words in lakinna means however or but, okay? And also la'alla, we already give the example, la'allakum tattakun. So inshallah ta'ala, this is the sixth one, you must memorize the meaning, and this will increasing your vocabulary in a much greater way, because as I said, these harf you will find so many times in the Quran, so your vocabulary will increase a lot if you just know the meaning of it, if you don't know the meaning of this one. The next thing, what does this call? Like the jar, the harf of jar, we say there is a name of it. It's better to know the name, because when you learn about this one, you try to teach someone, you need to tell the name. So the fragments, last week it is jar majroor. So the word before like bi, ta, kaf, lam, wad, there's a jar, and the word after it that became jar is called majroor. Here, if you see the word inna, like innal insana, so the word inna is called inna, okay? Al insana, because it's a jar, is called the ismu inna. So the word that makes it nasab is called ismu of that harf. So if I see some la'allakum tattakun, okay, so la'alla is the ism, the harf of nasab, and the tattakun is the word that is the ismu la'illa, ismu la'alla, okay. Also important note that I already told you, that harf of nasab and their victims do not have to be right next to each other, okay. They can be separated by word or few words. Okay, they can be separated by word or few words. So now, inshallah ta'ala, we will see some examples from the Quran, one or two of them, and tomorrow also we'll go through them and we'll do some more examples. You will do some more examples, and then inshallah ta'ala we can finish. So from harf of nasab, these are the only things we need to know. Let me get some examples, and then inshallah ta'ala we'll be done.
percentage is small.
Mm.
That one, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So these are all the ayahs from the Quran. So we're not going to go through whole ayah. Some of them we'll pick it from here, and then we do it. Let's see. Okay. وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ. I think a lot of us know this surah, you know. Or innal fujjara. See, so inna. Okay, this wa is not the wa of the recess, means and here. Inna is the for sure. Al fujjara. Al fujjara is a nasab. It's not fujjari. It's fujjara. So this one here, right? And fujjara means the evil people. Okay. So lafi jahim. Lafi jahim. Okay. And then this one here, we can say this one. Not this one. Inna sa'ata. Look at this one. Inna sa'ata. This is also making it nasab. Inna sa'ata. Sa'ata means the hour, means the last hour. Here we can say la ti'atun la raiba fihi. See, la raiba fihi. We did it before. Walakinna. See, walakinna. Walakinna means what? Who remembers? As though. Lakin as though, you know, aksara nasi. Aksara means the big number of an-nasi. Okay? And then also we have wa anna alayhi. Wa anna. See, but here look at this. The word anna is one of our harf of nasab. Anna means that. Is alayhi nasab or jar status? Well, what is the, okay, just first tell me this alayhi, is it jar or nasab?
Jar.
It's a jar. So this is the example that, you know, Anna is not making the next word nasab. We just have to wait to see the next word that will be. Alayhi is mudaf ilayhi. Because not mudaf ilayhi, it is jar majrur. Because Allah is upon and is making the word he as a majrur. So alayhi. So wa anna means that, alayhi means upon him. Okay? That upon him, nash'atal ukhra. Nash'atal ukhra. This nash'ata and nash'ata is actually making nasab. So this anna is beating up an nash'ata and making it a nasab, okay? And also if you see here, an nash'atal ukhra, is it a mudaf ilay? These two words, an nash'atal ukhra? No, why not? Al, there's an al there, very good. There's an al there, so that's why it's not mudaf ilay, something else. It's another type of fragments we'll learn inshallah ta'ala soon. What else we can do from here? Let's see. These are a bit longer examples. Okay, here. Wa anna, just look at this part. This part, the white part. Anna wa'adallahi haqqa. You can take the haqqa also. And there's another one. So anna means that. Wada means wada. Everybody knows what wada means. Promise. So is anna making wada nasab? Yes, nasab. Okay, so that. Then wa'adallahi. What is this construction? Wada Allahi. This is mudaf. Wada doesn't have alif lam. And the word Allah is becoming jar. So what is in between them, these two? In English, if you translate wada and Allah, what will be the between the word in English if you translate? So, and so so that wada of Allah, so the promise of Allah, haq means true. So that the promise of Allah is true. So that's how we translate, okay? And it will be very quick. Once you know the grammar, you know, when you look at them, when you listen to them, it will be very, very easy for you. So, anna wa'adallahi haqqa, walakinna, again, walakinna. Lakinna means, who remember? However. Lakinna means however. Walakinna ya'lamun. Walakinna meaning, however, you know, walakinna, they don't know. Ya'lamun, if you know, only if you know. Ya'lamun is a different one. Okay. Okay. This one is easy. Innal muttaqina fi jannatin wa na'im. Okay. So innal muttaqina, al muttaqina, you know, remember the child Muslimun. Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. And when we did Muslimina, Muslimina 2 times, we said it could be a nasab, it could be a jar. So here it is nasab. That's why in that chart, when there are similar ones, we say, okay, how are we going to distinguish? Because they're the same. Muslimina means Muslimina, Muslimina. How are we going to know it's a jar or nasab? Now you know that because there's an inna here, and you know the job of inna can only make something jar, so it is a jar now. So innal muttaqina, fi is harf of jar. It's one of our 11 one, right? Fi means in. Jannatin. Jannatin means fi is making jannatin. See? It's not jannatan or jannatun, okay? Jannatin meaning innal muttaqina, the good people, the righteous people in the jannah. In the jannah. What is the gender of jannah? Is it feminine or masculine? Feminine, good. What is the gender of nar? Feminine, masculine. See, both Jannah and Jahannam both are feminine. Maybe something there in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put everything feminine, even the Jahannam. Okay, let's see few more and then we'll finish inshallah. We'll do few more tomorrow. Just last one. This is min ilmin, another one from like jar majrur. Okay, here also we have wama lahum. What is lahum means?
For them.
For them. La means for and hum means them. So lahum. And what is the construction? Mudaf ilay. Mudaf ilay. The last one I want to do is this one. Okay, we'll finish with this one. Let's see if we can translate this. Ka'anna fi uzunayhi waqra. Ka'anna, what is ka'anna means?
That.
No. As though. Okay, as though. Okay. Ka'anna is as though and it's a harf of nasab. Fi is also a harf. It's harf of jar. Okay. So ka'anna is not anything to fi. Because a harf cannot do anything to a harf. Okay. So ka'anna means as though. Fi uzunayhi. Uzunayhi, what is uzun means? Kan, yes, very good. Ear. Uzun means kan. Uzunay, what is uzunay means? It's a pair version. Uzunayni, like muslimayni, uzunayni. But uzunay has a he attached to it. So it's a mudaf ilay. So a pair of ears is attaching to so. And fi means in. So this fi and this is jar majrur. And see, after fi and after uzunayhi, there is waqra. Waqra means block, like block. So I put a block in the center of something. I'm blocking the way because of that's block. Waqra means block, and waqran is nasab. Okay. So what is the whole translation will be? Ka'anna fi uzunayhi waqra. As though
their ears are blocked.
Yeah, as though two of his ears. You can say two of his ears. In two of his ears, there is a block. So Allah putting a block, so they're not listening to the listeners also. So as though in the ear of two of his ear, there is a block. Okay, so this is the one. So inshallah ta'ala we'll finish here. Tomorrow I will bring some more examples from the Quran, or you can bring a Quran or your iPhone or iPad if you have. So we can go through some of the ayahs, and inshallah ta'ala we'll find the harf of nasab from there. Jazakallahu khairan, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.